Happy New Year, y'all. Kyle Busch reveals another new paint scheme. NASCAR is at the Rose Parade in California today, and Vince Welsh shockingly tweets that he is out at Fox Sports after literally decades of NASCAR coverage. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. It's great to see so many familiar faces here in the new year. As you can maybe tell, I am in the process of moving. That, combined with the holidays the last couple of weeks, have resulted in fewer uploads recently, but that all changes today. We're back, and hopefully in the next few days or the next week or so, we will have a newly renovated studio setup, a new look. I've seen some comments from y'all the past couple days. Eric's moving again. God, this guy moves more than Ty Dillon changes rides. And that used to be true when I was in college. I was, switching dorms or apartments like every year, sometimes every semester. But I've actually been in this space for nearly 2 full years. So I don't know. I'm gonna miss this space. It's already starting to be torn down, as you can tell, but I'm gonna miss this space. This has been home for a long, long time. We've done a lot of great things from this room. This may be the final video I film in this room. It's kind of sad. To me, it's sad. You guys probably don't care. We're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about NASCAR news. There's a lot that I've missed in the past week or so. We're not going to probably get to everything, but we're going to hit the highlights. Like, congratulations to Bubba Wallace and Amanda Carter. They got married, I think just yesterday, just this past weekend. So congratulations to them. Other personal news I saw from drivers, Anthony Alfredo, my boy, Fast Pasta. Hey, she said yes. Congrats. I saw on Instagram this morning, Kyle and Caitlin Larson just welcomed their 3rd child into the world, so that's incredible. Congratulations to them. And Joey Logano has new hair, courtesy of a sponsorship with Hair Club. But what? I've missed so much in the past week. That's just personal stuff with some drivers. There's been some actual kind of news, I guess, like, the actor Frankie Muniz, right? Malcolm in the Middle, I remember him from Agent Cody Banks. Everyone knows he is a racing fan, and he's been trying to make a racing career happen. He tweeted these couple of tweets over the break. My wife has been searching online what NASCAR wives wear to the races. That means this is getting real, y'all. I kind of hope she goes the fire suit route. Some people gave Delana Harvick crap for wearing a fire suit alongside Kevin Harvick for some number of years there. And yeah, it's a little corny, it's a little cheesy, but I kind of like it. I don't know. Anyway, he also tweeted this, pining after sponsors. I'm not gonna lie, Wendy's has the best fast food breakfast on the planet. How many retweets to get a Wendy's sponsorship for my race car? I gotta rep something I'm passionate about. Well, he's at 521 retweets as of this morning. Not bad. I'm not sure that's going to get Wendy's attention. But yeah, Frankie Muniz, I'd love to see him make a real run at a NASCAR racing career. I'd love to see him, run ARCA, of course, but then let's see him get in trucks, maybe even Xfinity one day. If he's got talent, he's got talent. Why not? Anyway, other stuff. Just a couple days ago, Alpha Prime Racing announced yet another driver signing. A young driver by the name of Leland Honeyman Jr. will make 7 NASCAR Xfinity starts next year. He's been in the ARCA East Series. Congrats. Big fan of Alpha Prime Racing. Know some of the people over there. Tommy Joe Martins is a good dude. Everyone knows that. That team's making some pretty big moves this offseason. I hope they're successful next season. The last thing I want to see is a smaller, newer team expand too quickly, get too big too fast. But overall, I like what I'm seeing. I like this Leland Honeyman kid. Let's see what he's got. 7 races next year. So that's just some news. Kind of just speed running through it right there. But there's a few bigger stories that have dropped in the last couple of days that I wanted to spend a little more time on first. And this one's not really a story. This is just something I want to react to. But yesterday, on New Year's Day, one of RCR and now Kyle Busch's sponsors, BetMGM, revealed his all-new number 8 paint scheme for 2023. And boy, if you ask me, this scheme is giving Kyle Busch Remember Who the I Am tour vibes. It looks mean. It looks kind of scary. I'll be curious to see if the kind of gold colors, like caramel colors, and I sometimes pronounce it caramel, sometimes caramel. It's like a mix depending on the day. I'll be curious to see if those colors pop out at all, but if they don't, this kind of just looks like smoke from a fire. Kind of ominous. I don't know. I like it. It's a little different from, Cheddar's, which has, fresh buttery baked croissants on the side of Kyle Busch's car. This is a little different. This one looks a little more intense, like it means business. So I like this paint scheme, and I think Kyle Busch for years has been the candy man, bright and colorful. I think now that he's going to have more darker, black paint schemes, I think that fits the black hat he's sort of been roped into wearing in the past 15 years or so. I think it fits. I hope we see more black, more red on Kyle Busch's fire suit on his race cars this year. This is a great start. I like it, but let me know down in the comments below, Kyle Busch fans who have all your yellow and blue and red M&M's gear. Is this too much to handle, or are you digging it so far? Let me know. Next up, real quick, as of the time I'm editing this, at least, I think it starts here in the next hour or so, NASCAR is at the Rose Bowl Parade in California. It's college football bowl season. The Rose Parade is a massive tradition every single year, and NASCAR has a pretty awesome looking float at this year's display. It's on TV. So if you're watching this, like as soon as it comes out, it might be on TV right now. You might be able to check it out, but for sure, look up photos on social media. That's what I've been doing of them building the float. You got Richard Petty's car, Dale Earnhardt's car, and Jeff Gordon's race car, all fully featured on the float. Both Richard Petty and Raja Caruth will be on the float. Really couldn't have picked two more different drivers. Where NASCAR's been, Richard Petty, the GOAT, versus Raja Caruth, where it's going. Young driver with a lot of potential. My goodness. I've seen a number of fans point out on social media the lack of Jimmie Johnson. They've got the other two 7-time champs. They've got Richard Petty. They've got Dale Earnhardt. Why not put the third 7-time? Why not put Jimmy's car up on the float, especially considering Jimmie Johnson just bought back into the sport now with Petty GMS and is actually going to make some starts this year. Jimmie Johnson's actually going to race in some cup races this year. Why not put the 48 Lowe's Chevrolet on the float? I don't know. Maybe they didn't want to give Lowe's that free publicity. I mean, does DuPont even exist anymore? Aren't they sort of part of Exalta now, which is still a NASCAR sponsor? STP, still, I think, loosely involved in NASCAR, and I'm kind of an idiot. Either maybe they just didn't want to give Lowe's the free publicity. I have no idea. The Rainbow Jeff Gordon car, definitely more iconic than the Lowe's 48. Wasn't as successful on the track as far as championships. Did have more wins, I suppose, or Jeff Gordon as a driver had more wins. Okay, I'm getting off in the weeds. But I do agree, like, why is Jimmie Johnson not at least on the float? Maybe they asked and he's busy. I don't know, but I'm surprised that there's no Jimmie Johnson recognition, considering the other two 7-time champs are getting plenty of recognition. That's no disrespect to Jeff Gordon. Again, Jeff Gordon is easily a bigger name than Jimmie Johnson still, but I understand the Jimmie Johnson fans who feel a little gypped by his exclusion from the NASCAR 75th anniversary float. The reason they're doing this whole float is because the parade's in the Los Angeles area and the Clash is in like about a month, just over a month, at the LA Memorial Coliseum. I will be there again. I cannot wait. So they're trying to sell, last minute tickets, try to fill the place up a bit more. I haven't even looked at what the Ticketmaster, what do the ticket sales look like for this race? No, you know what? I'm not going to look, because last year, I think I looked at Dover before the spring Dover race. I looked at the Dover ticket sales like a week before, and it felt like the whole place was still available. Like, it hardly sold any tickets. And then I remember watching the race on TV, and that was one of the best Dover crowds we've seen in years. So I'm not going to bother looking at that. I don't think that's accurate. People will wait until the very last minute to decide to go. Anyway, the Rose Parade is happening today, and NASCAR has a presence. I think that's really cool. That's awesome. The last story I want to spend some time on today, and I don't mean to bring the mood down here. Usually I try to get the bad news out of the way first, but that's not what I'm doing here today. A couple of days ago, actually on New Year's Eve, Vince Welsh, longtime pit road reporter at Fox, he's been calling truck races on FS1 the past few seasons. Vince Welsh tweeted this: "Today brings me to the end of 2022 and my run at Fox. Will greatly miss seeing those in the NASCAR garage. So many smart, selfless, hardworking people I respect. Network TV world is a unique space. Blessed to spend 20 plus years in it. Now onward. No bitterness. God is good. All the best to you." Wow. So Vince Welsh is out. I think this caught many in the industry by surprise. I mean, Chase Elliott replied on Twitter, "I had no idea and hate to hear this. I always enjoyed having you around the garage, enjoyed listening to you call races in the booth even more. I always found your effort far more professional than many others. Thank you for that, and I hope to see you around again." This comes as a shock. I was shocked to read this just 2 nights ago. Vince Welsh, fantastic pit road reporter, a veteran, someone that everyone in the industry at least respects or trusts. I think it's important for someone in that role to have the trust of the athletes that they're covering. If Vince Welsh sticks a mic in your face, he's not going to try to screw you. You know who he is. You know who he's with. You know what he's going to ask you about. And I think that's important to getting good, authentic interviews with drivers who are willing to open up, be a little more comfortable on camera. He's someone they're familiar with. And Vince Welsh, the definition of a familiar face in the NASCAR garage. Again, like he said, for 20 plus years. An excellent pit road reporter, Sunday, Saturday, any day of the week. He has been calling truck races the past few seasons. He's been the lead play-by-play guy. And I'll just be honest, I haven't really enjoyed his work. Memes aside, I know people are going to bring up the wheel.
The wheel
Yeah, that was rough. But besides the memes, Vince Welsh just never struck me as super comfortable in the booth. Some of that may not be on him, though. Since COVID especially, the vast majority of Truck Series races have been called remotely. Vince Welsh, Michael Waltrip, Phil Parsons, they're often not at the racetrack up in the booth overlooking the facility. No, they're usually in Charlotte at the studio there, just looking at monitors. I've never done play-by-play for a professional sporting event, but I imagine it's easier when you're both at the track, at the field, at the stadium with monitors than just watching at home on monitors. Limited solely by what the cameras are showing you at any given point. You got people in your ear. I imagine that makes it a lot harder. So while I'm not the biggest fan of Vince Welsh in the booth for truck races, I'm not going to say he's had the easiest experience. Let's just put it that way. There's a lot to digest here because they could have just removed him from the booth. They could have kept him as a pit road reporter. That's what he did for decades. That was his sole job. I know they've got some younger talent now, like Regan Smith, for example, former driver. What's the guy's name? Josh Sims. Jamie Howe, I believe she's with Fox, right? She's another one. Maybe, just like we've seen with many drivers in recent years, Fox wanted to go with someone younger and a little cheaper. I'm just speculating, but I'm surprised and very sad to see Vince Welsh gone completely. Will not be working for Fox, likely will not be at the racetrack in any professional capacity next season. And that's really sad. That's disappointing. And it makes me wonder, what is Fox's plan? And I don't want to just sit here and speculate again because I don't know. Again, it might just been a budget reason. Maybe they had focus groups out there that said, hey, we really like that Regan Smith character, Vince Welsh, not scoring as well. You know how these Hollywood, these media companies are. I don't know. I'm probably reading way too much into it, but I just hope with, the next TV contract coming up, NASCAR over the next few months, and now is negotiating with companies like Fox for the next run of NASCAR broadcasting rights. It just feels like Fox has cut a lot of corners in recent years. And if they're willing to pay the big bucks to keep NASCAR beyond 2024, I hope they're also willing to pay for great on-air talent. The Cup Series with Mike Joy and Clint Boyer, maybe not to everyone's liking, but I think Boyer's okay. Jeff Gordon's had some moments, been a little awkward, but he's a huge name. The revolving door of guest commentators this year, I feel like for the most part on the Cup side, they've been willing to spend the money on talent. Trucks, pit reporters, it seems like things have changed. They're not willing to even bring the Truck Series commentators to the track anymore. I don't know. I just wish I knew how Fox really viewed NASCAR. I know they value NASCAR clearly, but they don't seem as willing to go the extra mile, go above and beyond the way, honestly, the way NBC has, I think, in recent years. NBC, they'll cut some corners here and there, don't get me wrong. But over the past few years, it feels like they are putting more into NASCAR than Fox has. That's just my perspective as largely an outsider, just a fan watching the broadcast side by side on TV. That's how it feels to me. Maybe you guys feel differently. Let me know down in the comment section below. What's going to happen for trucks next year? Who's going to replace Vince Welsh as the lead play-by-play guy? We don't know. Many are theorizing it'll be Jamie Little, and I think that's a solid hypothesis, at least. Jamie Little's been calling ARCA races on FS1 the past couple of seasons to, I'd say, mixed reviews. I'm sorry, but there was a race, I think last year at Talladega, where I don't know what happened at the finish. Just listen to it.
No help. 63 and Mater, and it's over.
Oh, again, I'm not going to put that all on Jamie Little. I'm not even sure if she was at the track. Again, this might have been a calling it remotely situation. The monitors may have glitched. I'm not going to put that on her solely, but hopefully, if she's calling truck races next year, hopefully, it's better than that. I like Jamie Little a lot. Again, fantastic pit road reporter, a great person to have around the garage covering the sport. In the booth, we'll see if she gets the job. I don't even know. Who would you like to see take over play-by-play duties for the Truck Series on FS1? Leave a comment down below. But that is going to do it for this episode. Boy, covered a lot of ground in a fairly short amount of time, I believe. It's good to be back. Great to be back in the new year, 2023. Thanks for sticking with me, y'all. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Make that your New Year's resolution, perhaps. Also, as always, big thank you to my Patreon supporters for your continued support each and every month, all year long. I greatly appreciate you guys. Y'all are the very best. There's still one more Downhill Diecast Championship video to upload. I got to get to work on that. Also got to get to work on moving all this stuff into the new place, decorating the new studio. But I will see you all again very, very soon. Once again, Happy New Year, y'all. Take it easy. I'll see you in the next episode.